Lineups for tonight. First for the Santa Clara Broncos. Backcourt of Fagan and Brownridge. Brownridge we talked about in our open. He is a scoring machine, second in the conference in scoring. And then it's Kai Healy, Nate Cratch, and the big fella in the middle is Emmanuel Enumanya. And that is the starting lineup for the Santa Clara Broncos. Now for the USF Dons, Devin Watson, Tim Dirksen. A very, very good backcourt combination. Ronnie Boyce plays well in the conference. And then Ofoegbu. All right, so we're set to go. And there's a little history note for you. And USF with the good-looking throwback uniforms tonight, Dan. Those look familiar to you?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they absolutely do. I mean, those are identical to what I remember back about 30 years ago, as a matter of fact.
I like it.
Well, and Nemanja gets a nice start.
So the 6'9" sophomore from Nigeria gets the first basket of the game. The USF last week won at Portland on Thursday and then lost at Gonzaga on Saturday. So we're going to have a chance for a three-point play early on.
First personal, first team foul of the half on the Broncos.
Glenn, remember this young man here that's stepping up to the foul line, Ofoegbu, he had a big game against Santa Clara in the win for San Francisco about a month ago. He did a really nice job, had 21 against the Broncos, and he's a guy that I think has really elevated his game as the year has gone on. Playing with a lot of confidence, he's a scorer, and he's very active.
So Ofoegbu misses the free throw, so it's a 2-2 game early. Cratch with the miss. Nemanja with an offensive rebound, and he was right at the hoop, but he missed it. Watson the other way, and misses it. It's not an easy shot. He got some resistance when he got into the line.
Well, the key when you're playing Santa Clara, you certainly have to find the backcourt, because Fagan and Brownridge put up big numbers, and you have to find them. And if you can do a good job of negating those two players, you've got a good chance to beat Santa Clara, but it's not easily done. I mean, they normally can go off on you.
Santa Clara last week lost at Gonzaga on Thursday and then won at Portland on Saturday. So these two teams did the Northwest trip last week. They are travel partners in the WCC. Little jump hook. A little long by Dante Reynolds. And Brownridge almost got it to go down, but he'll step to the line and shoot a pair.
Yeah, one thing I really like about Brownridge, I mean, he's a prolific deep shooter. So he has really worked on putting the ball on the deck, going to the rim, because he knows that every time he gets the ball, somebody's going to fly at him. So you have to be under control, use that little pump fake, get people in the air, and just put the ball down and go to the rim, and normally you're going to pick up the foul.
The foul was on Dante Reynolds. And Brownridge drops in both free throws. Bad pass by Ofoegbu as he thought Dirksen was going to stand still. Dirksen took a couple steps to his left, and the ball sailed right out of bounds.
You don't mind turnovers, but the enforced ones, I mean, they normally do you in. You've got to take care of the ball, make solid plays, especially when you're not being pressured.
Down inside, and Cratch has it blocked. A very nice block. And coming right back the other way is Ofoegbu, and he laid it in. So USF just beat Santa Clara down the court.
Yeah, you bet. You know, Ofoegbu, I mean, he's had a couple of high flyers going all the way to the glass.
So it started with some good defense on the other end by Dante Reynolds, and it led to a basket on the offensive end. Fagan threw it right into the hands of Reynolds. So Santa Clara, a little out of whack early. Boyce with his first shot is no good.
Well, remember, I think if you look at USF, they definitely have a quickness advantage. So here's a block inside by Reynolds, and that leads immediately to an Ofoegbu score. So that's like a 4-point swing.
Watson, nice bounce pass. Inside is Ronnie Boyce. It drops in, and Boyce was fouled, and that all started with Devin Watson. And that's a difficult pass to make.
You bet, and it's all about playing without the ball with Boyce, who's going to run the baseline. I mean, you've got to play without the ball. If you do it well, that's a great opportunity to take it all the way in.
So Boyce drops in the three-pointer, 7-4 USF. Santa Clara has made just one of their first 6 shots. He picks up his dribble. Brownridge is guarded by Ofoegbu, so that's a good matchup. Quick double team. Cratch runs into Manya inside, and he is fouled. So Manya was tested at the rim, but he is so big and strong.
Oh, and this is great news for Santa Clara. Manya, a guy that normally does not score much. I mean, he's gotten off to a good start. Here's what I really like about what Emmanuel Ndemanya did that time. He got the ball inside, Glenn. He didn't bring it down. He kept the ball high and brought it right to the rim. And earlier in the year, he was bringing the ball down when he received it inside. And, you know, it doesn't work. So good job by Ndemanya to get that one down.
That foul was on Reynolds, and that's Reynolds' second. So he is out. Matt McCarthy, number 10, comes in for the Dons. Watson right down the middle. He's not a big guy. He used his body a little bit and got a little separation. So Watson gets his first basket. Coming back the other way is Brownridge with a miss. Ndemanya offensive rebound. And now the ball's on the floor. The big fellas are going after it.
Oh, you don't want Ndemanya. Now you got to keep an eye on Brownridge. Where is he? He's right there. Keep an eye on him. Watch him. Watch him. There he goes.
He pumps and then backs off. Now he'll reset. And they're going to call an offensive foul.
Offensive foul, Santa Clara, number 22, Matt Hubbard.
So Matt Hubbard, who just came in the game, number 22, and he gets called for a foul. Hubbard picks up his first. 9-6 Dons. USF 5th in the conference in scoring. They average 76 points per game. Santa Clara, on the other hand, 9th in scoring. They average 66.5 points per game.
San Francisco foul, number 3, Ronnie Boyce.
So Boyce with a foul, so a fair amount of whistles being blown early on.
A lot of fouls early. I mean, both teams, 3 team fouls in the first 4 minutes.
Brownridge.
Don't forget, Glenn, Ofoegbu did a pretty good job on Brownridge the first time these 2 teams met. Fagan is dangerous. He's a very good, he's having a terrific freshman year.
Second on the team in scoring. He hits the 3 there. So his first points of the night, and he ties up the game. Dirkson's been quiet early. He's going to try to change that. He finds Watson in the corner. And the 3-pointer's off the mark. Brownridge kicks it ahead. Fagan's open again. Doesn't take the 3. Healy will, and it's short. So Healy misses badly. And Watson, oh, what a shot.
Did you see Watson? Wow, what a play. Well, that might be a travel. Well, Santa Clara had an easy one.
So 11-9. USF with a couple of changes as Chase Foster comes in, as does Nate Renfro. And another whistle.
I don't think the 30-second shot clock started when the ball was inbounded, so they're going to have to probably take a few seconds off and give the Dons the ball at midcourt.
So they get it squared away directly across from us. So Watson, Ofoegbu, Renfro, Foster, and Matt McCarthy on the floor for the Dons. Here's Foster with the left hand. Tough shot. Can't get it to go down, but inside is Matt McCarthy. Fighting. Gets the shot up, but he missed it.
Oh, the Dons had like 3 efforts. Somebody's got to get that one down. Brownridge
so far has not taken a shot. He will, though. Short on the three-pointer is Jaderston. Heinrich Jaderston into the game. 6'11" freshman who can shoot the three. Watson, side of the rim, no good, but offensive rebound, and the ball ends up back with Watson in it. So Devin Watson, he's quick. There he tried to be a little too quick.
Yeah, too many offensive rebounds, though for San Francisco, if you're a Santa Clara fan, and I'm sure Kerry Keating is going to make a few adjustments. Jaderson, who's a good perimeter player, if he doesn't make that first or second shot, normally they're going to shuffle the deck again and put some other guys in. So Kerry Keating, I'm sure, did not like the way the Dons were dominating the offensive glass.
Sean Grennan comes in as Watson sits down for a quick break. Grennan, number 30. Ronnie Boyce back in there.
Yeah, we've always said, Glenn, that we thought Nate Kratz was a big plus for the Broncos, and when he comes up big and they can get him the ball in the post, you know, they're really effective. He just can't finalize. Now everything was perfect that time, except you can't make it. You got to make that shot.
Kratz has really been struggling offensively. That makes it tough for the Dons because it puts even more pressure on Jared Brownridge. Listen, I think it's natural for somebody like Brownridge to try to maybe do a little bit too much. So Kratz has to get something going offensively inside.
And I think he will get opportunities because, let's face it, when you're playing Santa Clara, how are you going to play him? You're thinking, hey, we got to get out on Fagan and we got to get out on Brownridge. Look at Fagan. He's really coming into his own. I mean, this guy's going behind his back, breaking the defense down, making shots. So the inside game will be available for the bigs of Santa Clara. They got to be ready.
So Fagan has a couple of baskets. Turnover. Santa Clara pushes. Fagan behind the back. Fancy stuff. And now he'll pull it back out. Tied at 11. 13.5 minutes to play here in the first half. From War Memorial at Sobrato Center on the campus of USF. Nice pass by Kratz, but Hubbard can't handle it. And Kerry Keating just kind of threw his hands up in the air because that's a chance to have an easy basket. But even if Kratz doesn't pass it,
he's open.
He's right there.
Yeah. I like Kratz when he received it, turn and face, and you're looking at about an 8-footer. I think he's not playing with any confidence. That's the problem, especially at the offensive end.
It's and we've seen Nate Kratz be a pretty decent offensive player, but it's almost like he's not comfortable being a scoring threat right now, and he can be a scoring threat. So
again, there's Tim Dirksen doing all the little things. And here's the drive by Fagan. Watch Dirksen. Dirksen anticipates the drive, gets his feet and body in perfect position outside the restraining circle. So that's an easy call for the official. So if you're KJ Fagan, that's a time you have to understand a little bit under control, because guys will step in your way when you take it all the way to the rack.
Ofoegbu, strong move, and Ofoegbu lays it in. Uche Ofoegbu, the junior from San Antonio. We've been impressed with him. He's played well every time we've seen him.
I think Ofoegbu has really come into his own. He's a strong young man. And if you're the Dons, you would look to get him the ball more because he can make things happen.
How about Matt Hauser in the game? He's a three-point shooter.
Hauser, every time I see him come in the game, he makes a three. Hauser's like, he's fearless.
So Santa Clara with a 1-point lead. And the freshman, Nate Renfro, the pass to Dirksen. Dirksen's doing everything he can to get a shot off, and he does get a shot off, and it goes in. So Dirksen gets his first basket. And an offensive foul call.
So great all-around game for the Dons by those three players.
Yeah, they combined for 62 points, and Brownridge scored the first 15 points of that game for Santa Clara, but only 5 the rest of the way. And again, that was back on January 21st, a win for Santa Clara. Or a win for USF. It's a three-pointer, and Dirksen trying to get things going offensively. So Dirksen with the three, and it's a 4-point lead for USF.
So far, Glenn, really the story for the Dons has been offensive rebounding. They've been able to get multiple attempts every time down the floor. Look at that Brownridge. I mean, he didn't get the shot, but he can make things happen when he gets it.
Boyce, quickness, but a nice defensive play by Hubbard. To make that Hauser, that Hauser knocked it out of his hand. And then Hauser loses control. 2-on-1 for the Dons. Dirksen says, I got it. And he does. And he's fouled.
They may get Dirksen for an offensive foul, taking it all the way to the glass, using his right arm. Now, as you watch the right hand. He's left-handed now, so watch the right hand. Watch what he does. He moves the defender off Healy with his offhand. That's really an NBA call. You see that in the NBA.
But it's a tough call, but it really should not be a foul on the defender.
No, I agree. No, it shouldn't be a foul. Don't forget, every offensive foul is no basket now. So, it's out of bounds going to Santa Clara.
San Francisco foul number 10.
You feel bad for Kratz. Kratz that time got a nice pants and scored, but there was a foul called prior to. Okay, on every out of bounds play, it's either Healy or Brownridge, so you got to really be alert.
Hubbard spins and lays it in. Nice move by Matt Hubbard. So Hubbard's got 4 points, 18-16 Dons. A little over 10 minutes to play in the first half. Lob pass and right underneath Matt McCarthy. That's a nice pass by Ofoegbu.
Great pass by Ofoegbu.
Right back is Matt Hubbard.
How about Hubbard? This is what Santa Clara needs. They need their bigs to be active and score. When they get points from inside, the Broncos are tough to handle. Watch the play by Ofoegbu, Glenn, when this is really well executed. They're going to come out on Ofoegbu. He's going to get it. You stop it here, and you pin. Look, no help on the baseline. So you throw it over the top, and that's an easy score. That's a great play by USF just to get good position in there, and Ofoegbu made it happen.
Fagan with a strong move, lays it up with the right hand. And KJ Fagan's had himself a nice first half. The Broncos grab the lead. Side of the rim, no good. Broncos push, they got a 3-on-2. Healy keeps it up, around, no good. Cratch, rebound, he'll kick it back out. Hubbard, he's feeling it, and indeed, why not?
You got that right. He is feeling it. In fact, he's feeling it so much that Brownridge passed up a shot and gave him the ball.
So Hubbard with 10. Brownridge has not scored yet, but Santa Clara leads 24-20. So Dan,
now that's unbelievable.
Brownridge is 0 for 1 from the floor, and that's it.
Now, if you would have said, hey, there's 9 minutes to go in the first half, Santa Clara's got 24-20, and Brownridge hasn't scored, you said not possible.
And Hubbard's got 10.
Yeah, not possible. But Hubbard, big 10, and I thought and Mundaya, when he was in the game, I thought he did really a nice job. I mean, he had 8 rebounds in the short amount of time that he played.
Hubbard again. That one's short. So Dirksen gets the uncontested rebound. Watson other way, and he's bumped hard, and he's fouled. So as we said, Watson is not a big guy, but he's not afraid to go into the, as we like to say, the land of the giants.
Well, I think Watson felt he was fouled, but the official...
Well, they did not call a foul.
The official didn't agree with him, so they gave him the ball out of bounds.
He looked like he was knocked around a couple times. Fagan, the dish to Healy. And Brownridge swings it to Cratch, back to Brownridge. Quick double team. So they're getting after Brownridge pretty well every time he touches the ball. But, you know, some openings for Fagan. He's had some decent looks. Connected that one for them. Watson misses it, gets his own rebound, throws it up again. And this time he is finally going to get a foul called, as he took a bit of a beating the last 2 times down. So Cratch is fouled. Well, while you watch the West Coast Conference action, join the conversation using hashtag WCC Hoops. And for the latest news, scores, and more, follow WCC Hoops on Twitter. Watson has a good free throw shooter. This is the first one. He's 11th in the conference in free throw shooting at over 76%. Dirksen will sit down.
Well, Watson is the type of player that he'll be going along just even keeled, not scoring a little bit. Then all of a sudden, he just turns it on, and he's capable of getting you 10 points in a heartbeat. So Watson, I really believe, has had a sensational sophomore season.
Neely loses control. Shot clock is at 10. Maya comes way out.
Great defense by the Dons. I mean, this is a what? Hello? Oh,
yeah!
Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Are you? Now, you think that was a set play? Could we watch that again, please? Was that a set play?
So that may be the shot of the ball game by Maya.
Shot clock wasn't winding down that much, was it?
I don't think so, no. So here come the Dons, trailing by 6. Dons are 9 for 28 from the floor in the first half. That's 32%. Santa Clara, on the other hand, has shot it at a 42% clip. So that's a big difference. Mane coming out of nowhere with a block, and he's hustling back the other way. Healy takes it himself. Nemanja with a rebound, and he lays it up and in.
And Nemanja is having a terrific game. I mean, I haven't seen him play like this in a long time. I mean, he is dominating inside. He's running the floor. He's scoring and playing sensational basketball.
So 29-21 now. Santa Clara has opened up an 8-point lead. Nemanja has 7 points and 8 rebounds. Ofoegbu with a 3. Uche Ofoegbu with a 3-pointer. Fagan, 17-footer. Nemanja again, and he has it blocked. And now the ball rolls out of bounds. The big bodies get up off the ground.
Well, here's the block by Nemanja at the other end of the floor, which resulted in a possession and a drive down the middle that did not go in. But look, Nemanja right back and followed it. So he's really done it at both ends of the floor.
So they wipe the floor down. Blocked nicely is Ronnie Boyce with some defense. Watson all the way, high off the glass and in.
One thing you know for sure, when Watson's in the open court, he's going to the rack in a heartbeat. He's not going to bring the ball back out.
So Watson has 7 points in the night.
It's amazing that Brownridge really hasn't got going at all. And Santa Clara still got the lead, Glenn.
Brownridge has yet to score. He's taken 1 shot. That's hard to believe. Watson directing traffic. Boyce, high arcing 3, well off the mark.
I think it'd be a good idea for the Broncos to maybe set some screens and see if they can get Brownridge a score or 2 before the half ends. You want to get him a little bit of confidence going into that second half.
Fagan handles the basketball a lot for Santa Clara. 3-pointer by Ely. Front of the rim, no good. And Dirksen has another rebound.
Boy, did you see the screen out, though, by Dirksen? He boxed Nemanja out and moved him away. I mean, that was textbook. Well done by Tim Dirksen.
Dirksen 4 rebounds. Now he's looking for some points, and he gets it. Kind of a running hook, and Dirksen lofted it up there, bounced around on the rim and went in. So now 29-28. Dirksen, 7 points on the night. Pass inside, goes off the rim and into the hands of the Dons. Boyce, nice pass. Watson up and in. The Dons have the lead. So a nice little run here by USF.
And beautiful open court transition basketball. Run the lane, fill your lane. Boyce.
Us all off.
Yeah, on the road too for Pacific. I mean, that's a huge win. Well, don't forget, we saw Pacific give St. Mary's a tremendous game.
Should have beat them.
Yeah, the Gales came back to win that game, but I thought Pacific played extremely well. That was a week ago.
USF athletic director Scott Sidwell will join us. Lots of good things happening here at the Hilltop as far as facilities, and he's going to get us updated on that. We always look forward to talking to Scott, so we'll have that coming up at halftime.
18 foul at the half on the Dons.
So Brownridge was fouled, and he's going to go to the line looking for his first points. Brownridge coming in averaging 20 points a game. That's second in the WCC. He has made 69 three-pointers this year. That's the second most in the league. He's an 82% free throw shooter. That's 4th best in the league.
And of course,
he misses.
And he missed his first one.
That kind of night so far for Brownridge. He makes the second.
Finally, he gets one.
So that breaks a 9-0 USF run. The single free throw ties the game at 30. Down inside, and reaching over top, knocking it away is Matt Hubbard. Don's inbound underneath with Ronnie Boyce. Sean Grennan back in, number 30, as he backs up Devin Watson, who will sit for a little bit. Dirksen inside, and a nicely executed inbounds play as Dirksen gets the basket. He's got 9 and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, and they were looking, Glenn, for Dirksen all the way on that out of bounds.
So here comes Boyce. It's now an 11-1 run for USF. And what a block. So Boyce goes in there, gets it blocked.
Yeah, watch Dirksen on the out of bounds. Now, that's a time if you're Hubbard, you've got to have vision on your man, but also vision on the ball. If you face guard people and you don't know where the ball's coming from, that could be a real issue.
Boyce is knocked down, and he's going to be fouled.
Santa Clara foul number 3, Henrik Jaderston.
Henrik Jaderston, the big fella, 6'11" freshman from Sweden, picks up the foul, and Ronnie Boyce to the line.
Ronnie Boyce at the line. He's shooting 1-1.
So 1-1 for Boyce. 70% free throw shooter, and he drops the first one in. Ronnie Boyce really started to get more heavy minutes right around the time conference play started, and he's done a good job.
Yeah, he's a junior college transfer from Oklahoma City, and he has certainly come on big. And you're right, during conference play, his numbers have gone way up. I mean, in fact, he's played so well. Yeah, you take a look at the three-pointers. Look at WCC play.
And look at the minutes.
Yeah, well, he's earned the minutes. So 15 a game, doing a good job. Playing more minutes, scoring more at 15 a game.
Fagan beats Watson. Fagan makes the basket. Watson commits the foul. So that's just quickness on quickness. And right there, KJ Fagan just beat him.
Well, you see Fagan and what he can do. He's a wizard with the ball. So he's a guy that can definitely put it on the ground and make things happen. And that time picked up the foul on Watson. So remember, it's Fagan and Brownridge. This is a dynamic backcourt. And Fagan doing a great job. It's unbelievable the Broncos were in the game when Brownridge had 1 point.
A foul called again. So a whole bunch of fouls called.
Santa Clara foul number 12.
As we look up, 17 now.
18 foul.
9 on the Dons, 8 on Santa Clara. So Boyce back to the line, and he will shoot a pair. That one is no good. The Santa Clara bench is arguing that should not have been a two-shot foul.
Well, they're arguing, was he shooting? Was it in the act of shooting? Which, it's not a double bonus. So I think the officials need to get this together. And are they going to say that he was in the act of shooting?
Did not look like he was. And Gary Keating is not happy right now.
I think the officials need to huddle up here. Is he?
You make the call.
Is he shooting? Well, he certainly on a continuation. Now, it depends when the referee called the foul. Did he call it while he was stepping toward the rim? Looked like to me he called it prior to, but that's...
So 2.5 minutes left here in the first half with the Dons leading by 2. It's been an entertaining first half. And Brownridge gets his shot blocked by Matt McCarthy. Tough first half for Jared Brownridge, but his team is right in the ballgame.
Yeah, and a good play by McCarthy. He'd come all the way over. You know, McCarthy, a guy from Australia, he's starting to develop a little more. He's getting more playing time. Very active inside.
Brownridge. Ball has it tapped away. And again, it was Ofoegbu who tapped it away. So another good defensive play. And Danny, you say it so often where a good defensive play usually leads to points at the other end. And that was a perfect example. Watch this defensive play.
Glenn, I think the hero of the moment for USF is Uche Ofoegbu, the way he's playing defense on Jared Brownridge. And of course, Dirksen does a great job to get in there and draw the foul, as he normally does. But Ofoegbu has really held Brownridge down, and he's a terrific defensive player. And in no question, Ofoegbu has taken the challenge. I mean, he is right on Brownridge every time he gets it, and it has not been very many easy shots for Jared Brownridge in this game.
Dirksen makes both free throws. So Dirksen's had a nice first half. He's now got 11 points. And the Dons have a 4-point lead. Another turnover. More action for Dirksen. He'll dish it back, and Ofoegbu went for the dunk, and it was blocked, and he was fouled. And Uche Ofoegbu, as he went up for the dunk, he was a long ways from the basket.
Yeah, he was a long way.
He was Michael Jordan territory.
Well, he was out there. Well, here's a nice pass, though, by Dirksen to Ofoegbu. Jaderson with the foul. And again, a turnover leading to an open court opportunity for USF. It's kind of been the story of the game. So if it's not Dirksen, it's Ofoegbu. If it's not Ofoegbu or Dirksen, it's a voice who's getting in the way and making plays.
Ofoegbu was with the Dons last year, but really did not play a lot. But quality minutes this year.
But you look at USF last year. I remember they lose Matt Glover, Cruz Pinkins, Mark Tollefson. I mean, that's Corey Hilliard, Chris Adams. They lost quite a few players.
1 out of 2 for Uche Ofoegbu. He's got 11. Another nice defensive play by the Dons, and they try to extend their 5-point lead. Boyce, left hand, up and in.
Boy, that was really nice by Donnie Boyce. Not only does he block it, he comes back the other way and makes really a superb left-handed move high on the sweet spot to get that score. I can't do it any better than that.
We talked earlier today a lot about this matchup, and you said something Santa Clara would have to be careful with is USF's quickness. They have pretty good athletes, and they do have pretty good quickness.
Right,
maybe a little more quickness than Santa Clara.
Absolutely, and again, that was a well-executed over-the-top to Kratz, but Boyce comes out of nowhere to block it.
So tonight, that athleticism of USF is showing up on the defensive end a lot. Watson drops one in, and another turnover. Dirksen tracks it down. He looked like a safety in the NFL. So under a minute to play, and the Dons have a 9-point lead. Watson, long three short.
Now that's a Steph Curry three right there. Watson was out there. Now you got to, if you're the Dons, well, you might get a 2-for-1. I like this. This is 2 for 1. I like it.
Wow.
I like it.
Little strategy, and it works.
But I love it. He shot it with about 36 seconds, 35. If he misses, you're still going to get another opportunity.
So, Dan, it's an 11-0 run for USF, and they lead 45-33.
And didn't they just come off a 9-0 run?
Yep.
They've had a couple of strong efforts here in the second half.
So Santa Clara will take it down and get the last shot. Boy, they need a basket. Brownridge loses control, and it was off his hands. And USF with...
This is the story. 1 point in the first half for Jared Brownridge.
Let's see what USF does.
Can't inbound it back there. You got to inbound it down.
Half court. Watson, and he gave it a pretty good effort. But the Dons at 7-3, but they've lost a couple games in a row, and they're now 7-5. So Gonzaga at Pepperdine just getting started. So
and don't forget, Glenn, Pepperdine did beat St. Mary's at home.
Yeah.
So, and the Waves are awfully good. Well, that was a really well executed backdoor to start the sequence. Dirksen and Boyce. You cannot do it any better than that. Beautifully done by San Francisco. I mean, they're putting on a clinic here at the offensive end.
So now 47-33. Santa Clara cannot let this thing get away from them, even though there's plenty of time. Brownridge, side of the rim, no good. One more note on the WCC, and it's the schedule. I'm sorry, Dan, take it.
Well, what about Dirksen? Watch when Dirksen gets the ball. They're going to give Dirksen the ball here. Now he gets it, and then you're going to have the back door. There it is. You set it up with the dribble, and all of a sudden you get that quick back door. That's a planned play coming in for the first sequence of the second half. Really well done by Dirksen and Boyce.
Dirksen for three. Good. Everything is going right for the Dons. Remember, they finished the first half on an 11-0 run. And now a 5-0 run to start the second half. So it's a 16-0 run. And it's a 17-point Dons lead as Cratch finally gets his first basket, his first 2 points of the game.
It's great to see Nate Cratch get it inside and score. You know, I really like him. I like his game. He's a good rebounder. He just got to work at getting a little more confidence and going to the rim a little bit more when he gets it inside. But Dirksen's all over the floor. I mean, Dirksen's having an unbelievable game.
His fifth rebound. Dirksen's got 14 points and 5 boards so far. So a new shot clock for the Dons. Watson. Behind the back. What a pass.
How do you like it?
What a pass.
How do you like that one?
Dante Reynolds says, I appreciate the nice gift. And he drops it in, and it's 52-35.
You know, if you're playing with Watson, you've got to be alert all the time. Watson made a good catch that time, or a good play, but Reynolds made a great catch.
Watch this pass.
Yeah, look at this one. This is called eyes behind your head. Where's he? He's not looking all of a sudden. Oh, hello. Let's just give it inside to Reynolds. Look at this. 2 Santa Clara players to Watson, and he goes behind his back, made it look easy.
In the meantime, Emmanuel Ndamanya was fouled. First free throw is not good.
And Ndamanya does struggle from the line.
Reynolds will sit. McCarthy back in. The free throws missed, and Ofoegbu has the rebound. Ofoegbu's got 10 points and 6 boards now. Nice defensive play there. Kai Healy knocks it away. Brownridge with the left hand.
Well, the Dons are focused in on Brownridge, though. You saw Healy give it to Brownridge, and 2 players went right at him. And it's going to open up some opportunities for Fagan, but Brownridge, he's just not getting any room to do anything.
Fagan leading the Broncos now with 13 points. He's the only player in double figures. What a shot by Boyce. He hung up there long enough to get the shot off with the right hand. So Boyce has 13. And another turnover. Watson flips it up. No good. Foul by Healy. Santa Clara is just doing a very poor job of taking care of the basketball.
Well, the quickness of USF is so evident when you have guys like Boyce and Watson and Ofoegbu and Dirksen. They're like all over the floor. I mean, they got quick hands, and as soon as they get any opportunity, they're off to the races.
Number 3, Henrik Jaderston reports.
Jaderston in. Hauser in. Healy out. Nemanja out. Watson missed the first free throw. Second one bounces around and drops in. So Watson now with 12 points. And the lead is 17 for USF over their rival Santa Clara. It has not been a good night offensively for Santa Clara. Shooting just 34%. That one goes in.
Oh, you have to close on Jaderson, and he can give this team a lift. He's obviously he's a big guy, but great touch from the outside.
No good, but he's fouled. And don't you think at this point, Santa Clara with Brownridge 0 for 4 from the floor, they're just looking for any kind of lift.
Well, they really are. And, of course, San Francisco, I think, really playing smart basketball. They're coming down the floor. Now they're being selective, and they're getting Dirksen involved all the time. And if he doesn't score, you know, he's drawing the foul and able to get to the foul line. You know, Rex Walters, I mean, you got to give him props because he had a big turnover of guys from last year to this year. And I think his team is slowly but surely starting to play their best basketball of the year. Another turnover. It's unbelievable. Santa Clara able to get that one back for him.
Tough shot, Brownridge, and he's fouled.
Opportunistic play for Brownridge. McCarthy with the foul, and Jared Brownridge just able to stay with it. Watch Brownridge come up with the ball and then do a terrific job of finding an opening.
So that's the first field goal for Brownridge. And he makes a three-point play, so maybe that'll get Brownridge rolling. He now has a total of 5 points. Make it 6 points. A couple of free throws. Boyce quickly into the lane, but tapped in by Matt McCarthy, the freshman from Australia. A 15-point lead for the Dons. It was a 12-point lead at halftime. Shot clock at 10. Cratch up and in.
Well, Cratch has that patented move if he can get inside. You saw his strength, able to get it up and in. So a couple of field goals for Cratch here in the second half.
McCarthy and Jaderston bumping.
Pete was a 1950 graduate of USF, and you know, unbelievable. He became the commissioner of the NFL, and you're right. He's the one that merged the two leagues and named it the Super Bowl. So 50 years later, we got Super Bowl 50 tomorrow.
It was also interesting. There's kind of a second part to that story, Dan, and I know you knew this gentleman, but earlier today, the 2016 NFL Hall of Fame class was named, and Brett Favre and Kenny Stabler and Eddie DeParlo named to this, but also a gentleman by the name of Dick Stanfill.
Yeah, guard.
Dick Stanfill was a football player here at USF back in the late 40s in 1950. He graduated in 1951. Terrific football player, then went on to play in the NFL and coaching in the NFL, but he was part of today's Hall of Fame class inductees. And congratulations to the late Dick Stanfill, and he was a USF graduate.
Well, people they don't remember what a great football team the Dons had back in the late 40s and early 50s.
Terrific.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, he played with Ed Brown and Burl Toller and all the guys, Ollie Matson. You know, they had quite a team going all the way back in late 40s, and of course went undefeated. 1951, I believe. So, yeah, that was an unbelievable team that the Dons had.
But, you know, Dan, there's so much talk about the great USF history in basketball, and for very good reason. But maybe not enough is said about the history of USF football. And you mentioned these names, Bob St. Clair, Gino Marchetti, and Ollie Matson. They are all in the NFL Hall of Fame, and they all graduated from USF, including Pete Rozelle.
Oh, I think Burl Toller would have been in the, he would have been a terrific NFL player had he not gotten injured. He was another guy that was like an All-American, but he never got an opportunity to play because he was hurt.
Jaderston long on the three-pointer. The Broncos will get a second chance, and they need him. Down by 13. There's going to be a foul out front. That is that great 1951 Dons football team that you talked about, and there was some controversy with that too, right? They
should have gone to the Orange
decided
Bowl.
Not to go. Right?
No, they did, and they didn't feel that Ollie Matson was welcome. And give them credit for that.
Yep, they stood up for
and
their
they stood up for it. You bet they did.
Kind of a late whistle. Going to be a foul on the Dons. Brownridge gets the call.
Well, Brownridge more proactive now, and of course the Broncos need him. They're down 13, and I thought Ofoegbu did a great defensive job on him in the first half. Brownridge he's come to life a bit here in the second half, and trying to find a way to get this Santa Clara team back in the game. I mean, it's still, you got a long way to go here. Still 13 minutes to go. You're down 12. If you're Kerry Keeney, you're hoping that Jared Brownridge can get a fire lit under his team and they can stop the Dons. The problem is they haven't been able to stop USF at the other end.
Well, they were down by as many as 17 in the second half. Now they've cut it to 11. And you always like the idea of get it under double digits.
Yeah, what you try to do is get it to single digits, under that 10-minute mark. So if you're Santa Clara, you still got a little ways to go, but you've got to defend well. I didn't like it. Wow.
That was Dante Reynolds.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Or what?
Dead serious.
Are you kidding me? Dante Reynolds, where did you come from? Wow.
That was one of the greatest shots we've seen this year.
That was a great follow dunk. That's got to go in the highlight reel. Where's Reynolds? Look at right here. He wants the ball. Give him the ball.
And a steal. Another opportunity for Santa Clara. And a nice follow-up by Matt Hubbard. So Hubbard ran the floor and was in position.
Yeah, what happens when you keep running the floor, anticipate your teammate's going to miss? Don't take it for granted that your teammate free run at it. And did he finish?
So the Dons with the basketball and a 9-point lead. But Santa Clara has cut into that, what was once a 17-point lead. And Watson's foul. Well, that foul's on Jaderston, and Dan, that's his fourth. Jaderston, pretty decent player coming off the bench.
Well, he gives Santa Clara that perimeter threat. Indomania is going to come in the game, who has done a pretty good job inside for Santa Clara, but has not made his free throws when he has been fouled. And I think with Kerry Keeney just trying to alternate those two players, but now with Jaderson picks up that fourth foul, I don't look for him to be back for at least another 5-6 minutes.
So Watson makes both free throws. He now has 14 points and 4 rebounds, couple assists for Devin Watson. See number 5, Brendan Taylor, into the game for the first time for Santa Clara. Actually, he was in the game briefly in the first half.
Well, it's a big part of the game for Santa Clara, but no Brownridge. So you don't have Brownridge in there, and that's that could be a little bit of an issue for the Broncos.
Hauser gives it to Taylor. Taylor, a nice pass inside to Matt Hubbard.
Yeah, I thought that was a terrific pass by Taylor. Under duress, and he was bumped a little bit and had that good vision to find Hubbard. That was a nice play.
Ofoegbu's been quiet in the second half. And that one went in.
They going to count it? No.
But car insurance. Shade over 11 minutes to play. Brownridge, 3, missed it. Into Maya, who's done a nice job on the offensive board. And they're going to, looks like it's going to be a push on Matt McCarthy, as he may have nudged into Maya, who went out of bounds. So it is on McCarthy, and he's going to come out. Third foul on McCarthy. So Reynolds comes in, and Santa Clara will inbound underneath. Hauser looked inside. He'll get it back. Matt Hauser, the freshman from Thousand Oaks, number 12. Aldridge 3 for 8 from the floor so far in the game. Flips that one up. Missed it. A nice offensive rebound by Taylor and a reset for the Broncos.
Yeah, Taylor's done a couple of positive things so far. I mean, he's done a good job to offensive rebound the ball.
Three-pointer. No good. Big offensive rebound attempt by Ndamani, but he could not get it. So a 9-point lead for the Dons. Foul inside. There was some bumping going on between Dirksen and Ndamaya, and the foul is going to be on Santa Clara. Foster in, number 22 for USF. He'll inbound. Dirksen pumps, kicks it out. Foster's shot was blocked. Dirksen has it, and he missed a point-blank shot. He thought maybe he was fouled. He wasn't, and Santa Clara has it.
Yeah, you don't normally see Tim Dirksen miss that shot.
Nope.
I mean, he had an easy one that time. Mad at himself, actually. I think we're in a stretch right now. If the Broncos are going to make a run, it's going to happen in the next minute or so, and I think Brownridge is the key. They're jumping out on him, but he's got to find a way to make it happen.
Shot clock's at 7. Shot clock's at 5. Fagan picks it up. Taylor will shoot, and Taylor drills the 3.
How about Brendan Taylor? He has been a catalyst for this Santa Clara team since coming in.
The spark off the bench that
no
Kerry
doubt.
Keating's been looking for.
You bet. He's made a couple of shots. He's rebounded. And don't look now, but the Broncos down 6.
Reynolds finds Dirksen. Dirksen bumps, and they're going to call him for traveling. So a tough sequence for Tim Dirksen. Here's Brendan Taylor.
Yeah, Brendan Taylor, very active. That time, the recipient of a good pass there, and does a good job to square up and get it in. So Fagan gave it to him, and he knew what to do with it. No question about it.
Much better shooting by Santa Clara in the second half. They're 10 for 18.
Well, look, they got 2 guys. That's the way to play Brownridge. You got to have 2 guys on.
How about that? A.J. Fagan with the 3. And this is now a 3-point lead. So what a run by Santa Clara.
Yeah, remember, San Francisco had an 11-0 run to end the first half and scored the first 5 of the second half. So they had a commanding lead, but you got to give the Broncos credit. They've hung in there and coming right back. And there's the equalizer. And Watson is so quick.
So Watson now with 16 points. The lead back to 5. Kerry Keating calling out plays from the sideline. 3, a little bit long, and Ofoegbu has the rebound. He's got 7 rebounds to go along with his 10 points tonight. Does Uche Ofoegbu. Down inside, Dirksen, but Hubbard taps it away, and a nice defensive play by Matt Hubbard. And Fagan tried to get a little fancy, lost control, and the Dons have it. Ofoegbu all the way up and in.
No one challenged Ofoegbu. He did is really given the Dons, that third scorer, because they're going to get it from Dirksen, they're going to get it from Watson, and then Boyce comes in and gives you a fourth scorer, and that's why the Dons have been playing much better of late. I mean, they're definitely an offensive threat. They got multiple players that can put up big numbers.
Well, and tonight they have 4 players in double figures. Brownridge, tough shot, looked like it was blocked, and no, it was not. Just good defense by Ronnie Boyce, and that was a major air ball by Brownridge. He missed everything.
Well, he's trying to force it a little bit, but he should. I mean, he's trying to find a way to get the Broncos back in the game, but well defended again by Boyce.
So it's going to be an offensive foul, and it's going to be on Dante Reynolds. So that's 4. So Dante Reynolds 4 fouls. Chase Foster has 4 for USF. Jaderston has 4 for Santa Clara. He's the only guy in foul trouble for the Broncos. Santa Clara needs a bucket. We're at 7 minutes here in the second half. Hubbard, nice pass. Fagan around and in.
Very unselfish and a terrific read that time by Hubbard. 2 players went to Brownridge. Someone, Glenn's got to be open. Santa Clara found the open guy.
Watson, 3, no good, and Healy has the rebound. Healy takes it, and the ball is stuck. So if it's stuck, it goes as a
possession situation. Right, and here's Hubbard. And don't forget, 2 players went to Brownridge that time. So Santa Clara played well without the ball. Fagan was wide open, but Hubbard kept his head up and had good peripheral vision to find it.
So a new shot clock. Hubbard spins, jump hook, tough shot, around and out. So Hubbard, he's been active offensively tonight.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. And I'm sure Kerry Keating's trying to get his big guys, Cratch and Hubbard, to look at the rim a little bit more.
And Watson, I think Santa Clara thought maybe it was a walk, but Watson with the bucket, he's got 18. Lead is back to 7.
And Kerry Keating wanted a foul, but the official felt there wasn't much contact.
So 2 USF players go down, Watson and Ofoegbu. And the foul's going to be on Watson. He's like, man, I'm the one who's hurt.
And I ran into Ofoegbu. I don't want to do that again.
I'm hurt, and I got a foul. And Brownridge to the line. So 1-on-1 for Brownridge, who's an 82% free throw shooter. And Brownridge drops in. And Brownridge, a junior, coming into tonight, his career point total, 1,536, and he's 14th on Santa Clara's all-time points list. When it's all said and done, he may not catch Kevin Foster, but he's going to pass up a whole bunch of other people.
Yes,
and he may get to number 2.
Yeah, he may. He may. He's a guy that is going to average around 20 a game.
Cratch on Dirksen. Now Dirksen pulls it back out. Shot clock is at 8. Ofoegbu, strong, missed it, bodies down, whistle called.
Personal foul, Santa Clara, number 10.
So Kai Healy is called for the foul, and there you saw the left arm make contact with Ofoegbu. So.
Well, and you see, Glenn, you look at the strength of Uche Ofoegbu that time, and when he makes up his mind that he's going to take it in, I mean, if he stepping in his way might be a little bit of an issue because you're going to get hit hard by a big man going all the way to the rim.
Ofoegbu with 12 points, and he misses the first free throw. That 21-point performance by Ofoegbu against Santa Clara earlier, and we've talked about that a couple of times. That was a career high. He missed them both. So an opportunity for Santa Clara on a couple of missed free throws by Ofoegbu. quickly the other way. Healy pumps, flips it up, around and in.
Nice transition that time by the Broncos.
So Kai Healy gets his first basket, and now it's just a 3-point lead for USF, and we're at the 5-minute mark.
Well, when the Dons are in trouble, they go to Dirksen. And Dirksen is a guy that's proactive, and there he answers.
Huge shot by Dirksen. 3-point shot for Dirksen. He's got 19 to lead USF. Right back the other way. Brownridge thought he was fouled. No call. So that's a pivotal 20 seconds right there. A 3-pointer for Dirksen. Brownridge misses the 3 the other way.
And that was no accident. Dirksen got that 3-point shot. That was well executed. He popped behind the screen. If you're San Francisco, I'd look at Dirksen again, see if you can fall. What a pass.
Oh,
beautiful pass.
Absolutely perfect execution by Watson and Dirksen. And it's quickly back to an 8-point lead for USF.
Boy, the game is beautiful when you can play without the ball and you make good decisions. And the Dons have done that a couple of times tonight.
Dirksen now with 21 points and 7 rebounds. So the senior from Tucson having a terrific ball game. Brownridge misses. So Brownridge 0 for 5 from 3-point land. Boyce flips it up, no good. And Boyce stays down, and he's getting up very slowly with a limp. In fact, he hurt his left leg or maybe his left ankle.
Yeah, Boyce is hurt at the other end of the floor. He's definitely hurt. He can hardly stand on these 3 that Brownridge has in his arsenal. Dirksen's unbelievable. What a game. 7 for 10 from the floor for Dirksen. 3 for 3 from 3-point range. 4 for 4 from the foul line. 21 points, 3 steals, and 6 rebounds. I'd say he's had a pretty good game.
That's a leader right there.
Yeah, you bet. And here he is on the baseline. They got him way down here, and I bet they're going to go to him, maybe try to find him one more time.
Shot clock's at 4. And it's an air ball, and Ursula and Santa Clara will get it back. 3:04 left in the basketball game. Dan Melwamini, Glenn Kuiper from War Memorial at Sobrato Center.
And Glenn, there's still time, obviously, for Santa Clara. They're only down 8. But at this point here, you need productive possessions. So you're going to get a kick. So out of bounds, it will go to the Broncos.
Brendan Taylor, number 5, in there for Santa Clara. He gave them a lift off the bench earlier in this half. Swinging around. Fagan, good. KJ Fagan.
KJ Fagan has had a big game, and he's had a phenomenal freshman season for Santa Clara.
Fagan now with 21 points. He's got 4 3-pointers. So he has had a terrific ball game. 76-71, 2.5 minutes to play.
And remember, Dirksen at the bottom of your screen is trying to post up, but Watson, see if they get a foul over the back.
And Dirksen was fouled. So Dirksen will go to the line. Well, you watch the West Coast Conference action. Join the conversation using hashtag WCC Hoops. And for the latest news, scores, and more, follow WCC Hoops on Twitter. So Dirksen will not go to the line. It'll be a inbound underneath.
Yeah, 16 fouls. So next foul by Santa Clara will be a bonus situation for San Francisco. Selective, put some touches on the ball, and this is the time when guys like Watson and Dirksen have to take over late. Ofoegbu also. Ofoegbu's not bad. Boy, he goes right over you. I'm surprised he missed that. He had a couple of good opportunities. Santa Clara's got a window of an opportunity here if they can get it down, and he missed the layup.
Oh, and Fagan missed it. Hubbard got a rebound, but he had it knocked away, and that was an opportunity that slipped away for Santa Clara. Because really, the Fagan shot was right there. So that hurts the Broncos. Minute 30 left.
And I feel if you're Santa Clara now, Glenn, no foul. There's no reason to make needless fouls. What you got to do is get a stop.
Tough shot by Watson, no good. And they're going to get, it's going to be a foul on Reynolds, who went over top. And that may be 5 on Reynolds, if it is indeed on him. And it is. So Dante Reynolds is going to foul out with 4 points and 6 rebounds tonight. But he made the shot of the night, a rebound dunk, follow-up dunk, and it was spectacular.
To say the least. It sure was.
So the other way, Hubbard will go to the line. Matt Hubbard, the sophomore from Colville, Washington.
And this is a one-on-one opportunity. And Matt Hubbard, a pretty good free throw shooter. So this is a great chance for Santa Clara. With the clock stopped, you could set your defense. If you could make a couple of free throws, you could cut this to 1 possession.
Santa Clara as a team, 70.3% from the free throw line. That's 5th in the conference. USF is 7th in the conference in team free throw shooting. A miss. Santa Clara could not get the offensive rebound. 4-point lead for USF with the basketball. Closing in on a minute left. Santa Clara, a must-stop
Oh,
situation.
no question. A must-stop. And I think if you're San Francisco, Watson's got to handle he or Dirksen, but you got to let your primetime guys. And there's Watson. Oh, Watson misses a layup. I thought that one was going to curl in.
The elite power in, no. And there's a battle for it between Dirksen and Healy. Officials step in. The jump ball is called possession arrow to USF. So Healy, he rushed it a little bit.
You know, and a little bit to be a little overzealous. He had plenty of time. And still, Healy felt he was bumped a little bit by Dirksen, but there was no call. And then out of bounds, possession rather, and it goes. Now that's a pretty good foul by Santa Clara. They went right away.
Personal foul, Santa Clara, number 10, Kyle Healy. That's his 4th.
So a quick foul, and Healy gets his 4th.
And McCarthy's not a very good free throw shooter.
So McCarthy to the line.
I mean, he's a 31% free throw shooter, 6 of 19. So, that's kind of doing your homework, and then doesn't matter. but percentage-wise, if you're Kerry Keating, you're saying, hey, the guy's shooting 30%.
Yeah, we did the right thing.
Yeah, what's the odds of him making 2?
We'll tell you in a minute, Dan.
Yeah, we'll tell you in a...
Tell you in about...
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go.
So 2 huge free throws by the freshman Matt McCarthy. 78-72.
Broncos need a 3 in the worst way right now. Down the Dons, let him make a 2. A 2 doesn't hurt him.
So Healy gets the 2 on the backdoor layup. 78-74, 35 seconds left in a quick time.
Team, if you're Santa Clara, I think you got to put Dirksen on that team.
And Dirksen will inbound. Lots of pressure by Santa Clara. Dirksen thought about throwing it long as McCarthy broke free. But a quick foul, and it'll be Chase Foster who will step to the line. So Santa Clara picking the guys who, well, either not great shooters, obviously that's your first choice, or the guys that don't play quite as much.
I was a little surprised, quite frankly, that a guy like Devin Watson wouldn't receive the ball for San Francisco. It's the time of the game that you really want to get it in your hands of your best free throw shooter.
Foster is 9 for 15 from the free throw line this year, and he missed it. 30 seconds left. Fagan drives inside, flips it up and in.
How about Fagan and a timeout?
2 points guarding him. That's McCarthy right at the free throw line.
So they want to get the ball to number 1. Get it to number 1.
They're having trouble getting it to him. And they got a 5-second call.
Wow.
Right in front of the Santa Clara bench. It was almost like once they couldn't get it to Watson, who got bumped around quite a bit, and then there was a little panic set in, and they could not get it in. So underneath the basket, their own basket, Santa Clara will inbound.
And no need, obviously, to go for a 3. I mean, you're only down 2. Look at this out of bounds.
Inside, and it's good by Taylor, and we're tied with 23 seconds left.
How do you like Santa Clara to come all the way back? Now, if you're San Francisco, you definitely play for the last shot. You definitely shoot it with about 4 seconds left to give yourself a chance on a miss to tip it in. And Watson should keep it. Don't pass it.
Watson to win it. No. And we got OT on the hilltop. It continues as a sterling comeback by Santa Clara late in this game. Ties it at 78. So the 5-minute overtime starts, and it starts with a turnover as Brownridge dribbled it off his foot. So KJ Fagan led Santa Clara with 23 points in regulation. Dirksen 21, Watson 18, Boyce 15, Ofoegbu 12. So those are the scoring leaders right now. Brownridge has 14 for Santa Clara. Dirksen down inside. Muscles his way up, pretty good defense. And it'll remain USF basketball, but good defense by Brendan Taylor.
Well, Brendan Taylor, is physical, and he's definitely been the catalyst for Santa Clara off the bench. He's given them a big lift. But I like the fact that at least they went to Dirksen. He touched the ball that time, and usually he makes good decisions if he's closely defended.
Watson, right pass, Fagan up and in. What a great matchup that has been, and both guys have showed up tonight, Fagan and Watson. For Watson, he's got 20.
That could be a great matchup for future years.
Yep.
Those two guys.
There they are. Fagan with the basketball. Nice pass, but unable to handle it. Matt Hubbard, and it's a turnover, and that's a costly one. 15 turnovers for Santa Clara, 14 turnovers for USF in the game. Nice screen by McCarthy. Fagan, another nice pass. Hubbard up and foul.
Again, though, it's Fagan that made it happen. His ability to get through the defense, his ability to have the vision. Watch Fagan as he gets right down in the lane and does a nice job off the dribble and then a good pump fake. Hubbard's had a solid game. I mean, he's given the Broncos some inside scoring.
15 points and 5 rebounds for Matt Hubbard.
Well, Hubbard's been all over the floor. He's actually scored from outside, from inside. Well, I don't remember Santa Clara being ahead for a long time. I don't know when the last time they were ahead. It hasn't been for a while.
It says last lead.
When was
81-80.
Yeah, well,
which is the score.
I don't remember the process.
I get your point. A miss and a rebound for Santa Clara. Kai Healy, he's going to slow it down this time. Broncos with the ball in a 1-point lead, 3:20 to play.
Right, and you're really hoping if you're San Francisco that Brownridge now all of a sudden doesn't get into a rhythm.
Nate Renfro with the rebound. Renfro just in the game, number 15 for the Don. Whistle.
Yeah, they may get Brownridge for a foul in the midcourt. Watson was really rolling all the way to the rim. Watch Watson. He put it in like overdrive here. That's a good call. He was bumped.
So Watson to the line. And around his season average. First free throw is in and out. Costly miss. Every miss is costly at this point.
But there's been some big free throws missed by San Francisco in the last 3 or 4 minutes. So it's given Santa Clara an opportunity, and the Broncos have taken advantage of it.
Brownridge, little floater, and he got it.
There he goes. There he goes.
Scorers get their points.
Oh, you bet.
He's got 16, ball tapped away by Taylor.
Well, you watch Brownridge, and he's being so closely guarded on the exterior that he has to put it on the deck. It's imperative, and he's well defended here. I mean, that was good defense, and that's just a terrific individual effort by Brownridge to get it up and in.
Brownridge is going to sit down. Foul on the baseline. Ronnie Boyce was fouled by Hauser. So Brownridge, he's coming right back in.
No sense saving him, Glenn.
No.
With 2:36 to go.
And Boyce makes the first free throw. So he's got 16 points, 5 for 6 from the line. Second one missed. Renfro and Healy go down. Boyce to inbound underneath his own basket.
Here's your go-to guy right here for San Francisco on the out of bounds.
Don's trying to tie it or take the lead. Boyce has it knocked away and a foul on Cratch. Cratch with a little disagreement. You be the judge.
No, it's definitely a foul. Cratch reached in. He got leathered, no doubt, but he bumped him underneath, and Boyce will get back to the foul line. San Francisco now with a chance to tie. Say this, Glenn, it's been a very entertaining game.
Yes, it has.
And just when you thought that USF was going to blow Santa Clara out of the gym, the Broncos made an unreal comeback to get this into overtime. And we're tied again.
Well, blocked by Boyce and pretty good defense by Watson as Uche Ofoegbu he got onto that baseline and
I think Fagan was looking to pass it. There was nobody there. And now 16 left on the 30-second shot clock.
Shot clock is at 9. Make it 5. Ball's tapped loose inside on the deck. Brownridge flips it up. We'll see what the officials call.
On its own, and there was still 3 seconds left.
That's a huge break for Santa Clara.
Well, it's a huge break, but the officials were right on it. I didn't notice that the shot clock was reset.
Well, how about that? Brownridge got tripped. He was about to break free to get the inbounds pass. He tripped. They could not get it into him, and it's a 5-second call. This game has gotten very physical into overtime.
Well, and this is why, it gets a little bit conservative, but you need your primetime players to handle the ball and make plays. So it's Dirksen and Watson for San Francisco, and it's KJ Fagan and Brownridge for Santa Clara.
So Watson is fouled. Fouls on Fagan. That's his first foul. So Watson steps to the line. He's 4 for 7 from the free throw line tonight. He's got 20 points. He's taken 23 shots tonight. He's 8 for 23 from the floor. He's got 4 rebounds. He's got 4 assists. And he has just given the Dons the lead back.
And Glenn, he's normally not that kind of a volume shooter. I mean, that's a lot of shots for him. 23 shots. You got to be talented just to get 23 shots off. You really do.
There's an art to that.
Yeah, there is an art to it.
Dons by 2. Brownridge tries to go behind his back in a crowd. Doesn't work. Coming the other way are the Dons. Tapped around. 2 shots. They missed them both. Healy's down. And there's going to be a foul called. We'll just see who it's on.
Well, it's incredible that the Dons did not score on that possession. On that you had 2 blank you had 2 point-blank layups. Boyce, the first one. I thought this one should have gone down. Dirksen, I can't believe Dirksen missed the follow-up.
The foul's on Renfro. You see Renfro kind of pulling Healy down. Yeah, that's amazing that Dirksen missed that, and there is the foul. Kai Healy will go to the line. 2 huge free throws, and he rattles the first one in, and it goes down.
And of course, Kai's a pretty good free throw shooter.
Healy's got 5 points now. He's got 10 rebounds tonight, and he misses the second one. Dons hold the 1-point lead, 1:15 to play. Brownridge on Watson now. And Brownridge has 4 fouls. Boyce pushed off a little bit, and he gets it to go. Little push off.
No harm, no foul.
Nope.
That's out.
Brownridge, 3, misses badly, and the Dons have the rebound. So maybe a rush 3 by Brownridge. 87-84, Dons have it.
And if you're Santa Clara, you do not want to foul now. So the only thing is, if you're San Francisco, you can't get too conservative. I think you got to go ahead and play. You got a 3-point lead. Boyce has been a tough cover. They're going to let him go and see if he can draw a foul.
And he carried it. The ball on the dribble came up a little
strong to the rim and see if he can make something happen. So let's see if Fagan, they screen for him, they get it to Brownridge. So they're going to let Brownridge go one-on-one. See if he can take Ofoegbu.
Inside, and Brownridge with a power move. Now it's 87-86, and they do. And they foul Watson.
Well, the idea, if you're San Francisco, you negated the 3. That's the positive. Ofoegbu does a good job on the outside. This is, again, a fantastic individual effort by Brownridge. Now, Brownridge had 1 point in the first half, didn't you, Glenn? He didn't. I don't remember him having very many points, and now I bet he's got like 16 or 17.
Yeah, he's got 18. But
well, there he goes.
Unfortunately, Dan, he just fouled out. So he had to commit the quick foul, and Brownridge is done for the night. 18 points, 3 assists. He was 5 for 15 from the floor. He did not make a three-pointer tonight.
So he was well defended. San Francisco, they did a great job on him on the perimeter.
Watson's first free throw is in. He's got 23 points.
And now the question is, if he makes the second free throw with 6 seconds left, do you take a strategic foul, or do you allow Santa Clara? Gatorson, a 3-point specialist. So if you're San Francisco, if you're not going to take that foul, I can't believe they turned it. Did they turn it over? And Boyce committed the foul.
Boyce
the Dons did go after him.
Hauser.
Yeah, they did go after him.
So a second came off the clock.
You know what almost happened? Santa Clara was going to inbound the ball, and Hubbard was going inbounds, and he threw the out of bounds rather, and he threw it inbounds. Now you can come back in, but they were going to go out of bounds to out of bounds. I mean, was that fortunate or what? It goes along with my theory here of missing this free throw intentionally, or is he going to try to make it? I think he did miss it intentionally.
Offensive rebound, they got it out. Fagan has a shot, and it's blocked. Ball is loose. Dons have it, and the Dons have a victory.